0 Hour King reporting for duty. So since the foul shape has dropped, foul shape's been brilliant, mega hit. But in the back of my little mind, it's been like, what's 0 Hour Solar Flawless like? What's 0 Hour Solar Flawless like? I need to run it. Oh no, but I've got stuff to do on Pale Heart. You know what? Screw it. Screw the Pale Heart stuff, because I'm the 0 Hour King, or in this case, the 0 Hour Expert. And I'm getting in there. I want to see what Prismatic is like in this damn mission. Right, so translated difficulties. Standard is the old normal. Expert is the old legend. Right? So the hardest difficulty for 0 Hour is expert. The activity power cap for standard is 1950. For expert, it is 2000. We've already met that power cap, so it makes no damn odds if I'm 2010 or whatever. Modifiers are similar to what it was. They're the same, actually, as what it was previously. And before final shape, we've got void threat, so the puzzles are going to be void. So let's have a look at what we're running. Now I'm going to try and use like the supreme of the supreme prismatic builds, because I wanted to fully test prismatic in 0 Hour. I know it's another warlock video, and I know Titan mains are starting to get upset a little bit. Where's the prismatic stuff for Titans? I don't know, dude, because right now with the warlock it's just too good not to play. So we're using Song of Flame, Healing Rift, Arcane Needle, Storm Grenade, Aspects Feed the Void, Bleak Watcher, Fragments Wars, Facet of Dominance, Facet of Balance, Facet of Hope, Facet of Courage, Facet of Dawn. We're using various builds, so I think we start with this one you see here. I'm not going to go through all the mods with you. I don't need to babysit you through all that stuff, but you can see them on screen anyway. So we use that build, right? This one with these weapons, right? Which we'll talk about in the run. We then swap for Traversal to Eager Edge, and we then do a little bit of Outbreak shenanigans with a damn bait and switch LMG Promemoria, which is fantastic in the game. It's a really, really good LMG. And that's all the stuff that we used. Obviously, we Getaway Artist. Forgot to mention that. So let's see what this damn Solar Force 0 Hour is like. Is it easier now with Prismatic? Does Song of Flame make it easier? All these questions are unanswered, and we're going to answer in this video. And by the way, who the hell wears sunglasses indoors? The 0 Hour King wears them indoors. That's who. Let's get down a damn turret right away at this first ag clear portion and a DB shot. Get a Dragon Breath shot down. We should probably proc a Healing Rift here, but we didn't, but that's fine. We have Arc Soul anyways. We've got Devour, we've got Radiant, we've got Bleak Watcher. So my overall assessment whether is 0 Hour more difficult or not depends on what class you're playing, but there's one critical change that makes it more difficult, but the rest of it is probably easier, especially on a Warlock with Devour in this situation. So it's similar. It's the same time as what it was, for that. So you're getting the same amount of time. It's still 20 minutes and 30 seconds. Should be 21 minutes, by the way, but it's 20 minutes 30 seconds by the time you load into the instance. But we'll get a Rift Arm here. We're going to use Dragon's Breath right away on the brig. We're going to try and speed it up a little bit. And we're going to proc Kinetic Tremors on the brig. So we're using the Kinetic Tremors King Scout that I made a video about, that people didn't believe me on how good it was, or they sort of just didn't believe it. This Scout Rifle, in the right circumstances, can fire a lot of bullets for Kinetic Tremors, making it one of the best Kinetic Tremor weapons in the game. And you'll see more gameplay of that coming up. We're going to prop Transcendence here because we're quite weak. That's the brig down. That's fine. We're going to use the rest of Transcendence on these ads here. We still got Devour. Just always check your Devour chain killing. What is this bin that's in the way of the sniper? Our shots weren't registering for some sort of trash bin thing or whatever that was. We still got Prismatic, by the way, look. We still got Prismatic, so we'll take advantage of the nades. And that's that first area done. Time check, 18:30. Right, we're good. Generally, that's okay, but that's probably 10 to 20 seconds unoptimized. On a Galahorn strat, I would have done this quicker. So I recommend to you probably use Galley for this. I've showed you the Galahorn strat in the past. It will still work. That's what I recommend. I still recommend rocket sidearms. You could probably run double rocket sidearm and then galley. You know, so the call, indebted kindness, and do it like that. Because everything else, the build's doing it for you. We're going to take out these ranged ads with the scout first. Yeah? Now, this might look slow, but is fast. Because optimizing the snipers now will help you out later on in this little section. So take out those ranged enemies, then pop super. Song of Flame, that is, to be exact. And we'll just take out all the ads on this top section. All the ads. Yeah? So this is really good for this bit. Then we'll get a DB shot on the tank. We still got super, so we'll take advantage of it. Yeah? And then we'll take out all these servitors. So this is quick, but now it's not quick. So we've made a fatal error that's cost us 20 to 25 seconds, I would say, because we can't kill the damn servitors still up. I thought the servitor was dead, so we lost time because of this. There's a time loss there. There's a time loss there, and notice what? What have you noticed? Dragon's Breath did not one-shot the tank like it used to. So Dragon's Breath does not one-shot tanks anymore, so therefore it's not as useful as what it was. It's still useful in this, just I would probably use something else now knowing this. Still Hunt. Probably use Still Hunt. It'll probably melt the tanks. The bricks, sorry. So go with maybe Still Hunt and the Call. And then a machine gun, you could do it like that. That would be sufficient. Especially on a hunter, even more so on a hunter. So this section, again, make sure we got Devour up and just rocket sidearm everything. 16th, 30 just below. That's my time check at that door. So that time is bang on average. It's for my time. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad enough to reset the run, if that makes sense. On the Galahorn strat, I will be 30 to 40 seconds ahead of this time easily. It would just be that much better. Let's swap to our Strand. Let's swap to our Eager Edge because we want this on for the Traversal. So we're going to just one-shot all these ads. They need to be killed, by the way. I would be willing to bet the 0 bug still exists. I bet they have not patched that. I don't know that for certain, but me thinking about it right now, I bet they haven't patched it. If anyone knows about it, let me know. But I'm willing to bet. I'm a betting man that it's not patched. The timeless 0 bug is what I'm talking about specifically. So we'll do some Eager Edge skating here. Let's, like I said, we're on the expert difficulty, which is aka the legend difficulty. The Traversal is obviously slightly different. We'll Eager Edge out of this tunnel. Any time save is beneficial. By the way, this run was unoptimized for Traversal because I messed up big time on one of the segments. Not this bit. I'll show you where I messed up massively. Probably cost another 30 seconds. So if we add the 30 seconds to the 20 seconds lost, you're looking at 50 seconds to a minute lost in this run, which is a big deal in 0 hour, but I still found it not to be too bad despite the minute loss that I'm referring to over the course of the run. But in terms of everything else went as good or if not better than I expected. So did you see the skip there with the grapple? We just grapple all the way up. That's a big time save. So this bit is where we lost our time because we don't have a grapple, right? So I wanted to jump across normally. But what it was is I got slowed and stuff, and I get slowed twice. It ends up costing us too much time. That ad could have fell off. He could have done me a favour and just fall off the map, but he didn't. So yeah, we get blinded by this. So this ends up making the Traversal horrible. Apart from this bit, though, as I say, everything was fine. It was. So I think overall, survivability, combat sequence-wise, the Song of Flame, Prismatic Warlock, with Getaway Artist and Arc Soul makes 0 hour easier to survive and navigate combat. But the Dragon's Breath change doesn't make it faster. So you might want to use another weapon because of this. Alright? Now I used a bait and switch LMG on this run, at the run before this, and it melted the tanks quicker than what Dragon's Breath did. I'm on about the Pro Memoria 600 RPM aggressive frame LMG, one of the best LMGs in the game, if not the best LMG. Insane with reconstruction, bait and switch. It does so much damage with bait and switch. You could do target lock. You could craft it with target lock. But I think the identity of the gun is to have it with bait and switch, because there's hardly any machine guns. I think this might be the first bait and switch LMG. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the Pro Memoria Strand LMG, you need to craft it ASAP. I might make a video about it. We'll see. I've already crafted it though, because obviously I was using it in this run. So yeah, if I was to run this back, I wouldn't have ran Dragon's Breath, is what I'm trying to tell you, because it doesn't one-shot the tank, so the power of it goes way down. The speed, time lost, the time gained from Dragon's Breath from last season isn't apparent in this season, so you don't need to use it, is what I'm saying. You can use other DPS options on Briggs, on tanks. It's the tanks that are the issue in the boss fight. Everything else, I say, it's fine. So we're just going to keep one-shotting these, what do you call them, shanks. I just use the melee ability. I know you can jump past them, but I like to kill them. It's just part of what I am and what I like to do. We'll eager edge across, then grapple across this chasm, or this deep whatever area this is called. We'll come up to the Trevor puzzle, which, again, I'm sure we sort of know where Trevor is. If you return and play, though, to Final Shape, and you didn't play 0 Hour, I recommend that you do, and craft your Outbreak. You need to craft Outbreak. It's one of the best guns in the game. Seriously. And for GMs next week, you're gonna want to craft it. So if you haven't already, make sure that you get your 0 Hour puzzle stuff done. You need to do the puzzle rotations. There's videos about that. You need to do the mission on expert difficulty. No, not legend, it's expert. So you need to do that. You just need to follow the quest chains and make sure that you get Outbreak perfected, crafted with rewind rounds, right? Extended mag, etc. And the barrel of your choice, which that's your personal business. I'm not going to quiz you on your barrel. That is your business. It's not my business to tell you what barrel to use. You use the barrel that you want. And if you don't know what barrels do and what they feel like, test every single one. And then come back to me, see if you notice any differences. You barely notice any differences with barrels nowadays, especially on next gen. Like, people make a big deal on barrels and crafting. Dude, have you played on PS4? Destiny 1 and 2? Have you actually played? Have you actually handled a weapon with high recoil on PS4? Come back to me when you've done that. Boot up your PS4 and have a look at it. Or go and look at some footage. Because once we went to PS5, recoil was buffed. Nerfed. As in, we can handle guns far more easier than what we used to be able to because of next gen. So, no matter how different a barrel is, it doesn't matter. I've got next gen. Or PC. Better yet, on PC, you've got more stability there. So, like, people crying over barrels. Dude, do you remember what it used to be like? Do you remember what it used to be like with recoil? How difficult Xenophage was on PS4 to handle? It was like a horse kicking you at 4 a.m. in the morning. Yeah? So that's how bad it was. So just remember where you come from. Instead of micromanaging barrels, it really is a pet peeve of mine of people who micromanage barrels, because, hey, we all have different size hands. Yeah? We all have different muscle memory for our hands on how hard we press a button for controller, etc., etc. So everyone's so different. You're unique, but you need to find out what your settings are, what your sensitivity is. You need to find out yours. I've found out mine, and no matter what anyone says to me on the internet, I'm not changing my sensitivity settings just because this dude says to me that I should. I'll just stick to what I know and what's built for me, and that's it. This is Void Puzzle Rotation. It's Void Puzzle Rotation, right? So you should have these pictures saved on your mobile phone. I do. I've got Void Arc Solar, so anytime I run 0 Hour, I whip out my phone, right? Go to Void Fret in this case, look at the puzzles, because there's 2 puzzles per rotation. Expert and normal. So you've got to know the differences and have that with you, unless you've lost time on a 20-minute timed mission, 21-minute timed. So we'll switch to Strand Reserves on the plate and back to our Outbreak build. So we're on Outbreak with the Pro Memoria LMG, 533 bullets. Look at that. That's just one other reason why. By the way, this weapon can autofill until almost 200 bullets per mag with reconstruction. So we'll pop a super and a turret just before, and we want to melt this boss and get rid of him whilst multitasking on the servitors. We'll do a bit of ad clear on one of the sides because we want to clear a side though. Right, we want a side clear. We want some snipers down and the turret. We've done that, so one side is clear. We'll activate bait and switch here. Melt, melt. Look at this. Look at the melt. See, bait and switch LMGs. Like, DPS players are going to have a fit when they see that this bait and switch LMG is actually really good. And they're going to say, it's an LMG, you hold right click. No, you don't. I hold right trigger. Do you see how that's different to a click? I hate when people say, hold right click, you win. Hold left click, you win. No, you don't. I don't. I hold down my trigger, my full throttle trigger on my controller, and then I win. And then I put on some paddle controllers as well. I use paddles. I use the PS5 Pro controller, right? I'm on sticks. I'm on the sticks. I'm not on no mouse. When you say left click to win, I have no idea what you're on about. What are you on about? You on about purchasing stuff on Amazon? What are you talking about? I don't understand it. I just understand. All I understand is sticks. That is it. So we've got bait and switch activated. We want to put the DPS in, but we couldn't because we were getting pushed a little. We're getting hit quite a bit. But the position end is really good where I stood because I was able to tank all that damage with cover. If I'd had my rift back, I would have been able to continue. But that's fine. We'll go to our next location, which is next to this. What would you call this lockup? This lockup thing. We'll get our turret to free some of those enemies. Get a rift down. We need it down now. That's fine. We'll let Outbreak do the damage. If I was to run this back, by the way, I wouldn't have swapped to Dragon's Breath. Like I said, I would have kept on the bait and switch LMG because I know that it melts the tanks quicker than what Dragon's Breath does. Quote me on that. I'll repeat it. A bait and switch LMG will melt a tank quicker than what Dragon's Breath will, because Dragon's Breath has been slightly changed on tanks on the amount of damage it does to them. Quote me on that. This is absolutely true. I tested it. When I test stuff, you know, I don't just test it. I test it and make sure, because I need to be... People hold me accountable on stuff, and so they should. So I know that you hold me accountable, so I need to get my stuff right. So I think 90% of the time I get my stuff right, 10% of the time I get my information wrong sometimes. So I need to make sure 9 times out of 10 I get my stuff right. So when I test something, I'm like, right, is it? And then that's the case. But when I come and tested the Dragon's Breath, I didn't realise, I thought it would one shot, I presumed. But I didn't feel like running this back, so this is the clear. This is the clear that I'm posting. You know, so it is what it is. This is also a good location to put a turret down and survive. Look. We'll activate bait and switch here. Let's get rid of the boss. Look at HP bottom. If only that boss wouldn't go immune, I would have killed him, right? Why do they have this immunity power? Why do bosses have immunity? Why are there phases in Destiny 2? Why are there phases? Like, look, here we go. Now, I know I did not have composite propellant ×5. That is a myth. If you say about the composite propellant being ×5, being able to one-shot a tank, that is a myth. Do you know why it's a myth? Because last season I was one-shotting tanks with composite propellant ×1. It didn't matter too much about the propellant. It was more, yeah, your odds of success of one-shotting a brig was a tank, was higher with a higher propellant, but you could still one-shot them at ×1. There is actual footage showing you that. I can go and show you and reference someone else's video and show you where that is true. ×1 will one-shot, but not now. It doesn't matter if you have ×5, ×4, ×3. You will still not one-shot. So I have to improvise in this run. Look at the scout. Look at the kinetic tremor scout. Look at the kinetic tremor king with the 0-hour king. Look at this. So we're having to improvise. Time is 3:45. We are behind our time curve. We need to hurry up. Let's use a bit of deconstruct indebted kindness, which is doing decent for us. It's not doing what it done last season, but it's still good when you're up against vehicles. Look, we had to hit the Dragon's Breath at the top of the tank, which that was the old strat. It doesn't one-shot. No matter what you do, it will not one-shot. It's not a skill issue by me. It's the gun. That's what happens now. It was never meant to one-shot the tanks anyways, was it? that was, I think, in my opinion, wasn't right anyways. Because that was like a mini exploit, in my opinion. Being able to one-shot a tank like that. Because they're a tank. Why are they being able to be one-shot? It's in their name. Right, we'll get a turret down, then a super. Now look at the damage that we do to both Servitor plus Brig. Look at the damage, look at the damage. Look at Song of Flame. It's killing both the Servitor plus half damage to the Brig. So the time lost on tanks is saved on Brig. Do you see it? Do you actively see it? Now we're back right up and we're going to be the Kinetic Tremor King again. Look at this. Kinetic Tremor King. We've got no ammo. I think there's a heavy Brig right in front of me. There is. I'm going to get it in a minute. So when you're doing DPS to the Brig, strafe left and right. Strafe left and right as doing DPS. Alright. If any Marauders push, take them out quickly. Look at our ammo back here. We've got loads of ammo to use, which I'm going to do that in a minute. But I'm just going to do a bit more Kinetic Tremor King gameplay. We'll get this ammo, so now we're going to synergize both Dragon's Breath and the Kinetic Tremors. I could have used my Prismatic, but I was too far away to use it, so I just didn't bother using it. I think I ended up using it later on, and the Brig's nearly dead now, so we're alright. We're alright at this point. I have used Outbreak Perfected on the Brig, and it melts them also, maybe slightly quicker than the Kinetic Tremor Scout, but only slightly more, mind, which tells you how good this Scout is. Yeah, very good. Now, Scouts, they didn't get barely touched, did they, since the Fallen Shape? But this particular Scout, right, is very, very, very good. It is. Seriously, look at this. Look at the damage. Right, we're done, we're done, we're done. 1 minute 15, we're done. We just need to clear the ads. We've got a Prismatic, we've got a Transcendence to use. When I keep saying Prismatic, I mean Transcendence. I'm sure you know what I mean with that. Right? We'll get a turret down, Healing Rift, and then we'll swap. We'll swap off this. We'll put Outbreak on just for the increased damage it does over the Scout. It's a bit faster. And we'll just spam our Indebted Kindness. Look at the ammo that we finished on with. So this run was unoptimized, but also optimized for the Brig. Optimized for the Brig, but unoptimized for the tanks. So learn from my mistake. Don't use Dragon's Breath in this for the tanks. It's no longer a requirement. Try a bait and switch LMG. They melt. Seriously, trust. I'm not just telling you it to troll you. I'm trying to save you, the player, time. That was the Soul Flaws on this. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.